to Mr. Dasun Abeysekera, Deputy Vice President of Aspirations.
Thank you. Delegates and friends, good evening. Let me first congratulate you on your successful weekend. The great Albert Einstein once said, "No problem can be solved by the same consciousness that created it." Today, this world that you and I inhabit is faced with unprecedented problems. It is not necessary for me to belabor these challenges to you, for it is evident that all of you are well aware of them. Our current reality is neither something from which we can run away and hide, nor can we stick our heads in the sand and hope that this storm too will pass us by. We are left with only one choice: find solutions to each problem and implement them. For the survival of mankind depends on what we do now and without delay. And I commend all of you at Colombo for signing up early to be a part of the next generation of leaders who will change this world. My theme today, therefore, is not about problems, it is about solutions. 2,500 years ago, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, used 4 simple steps to comprehensively solve the all-pervasive problem of suffering. And I would unabashedly recommend this 4-step methodology grounded in cause and effect to anyone who is faced with the challenge of solving a social problem. What are these 4 steps? First, we must clearly understand and state what is the problem. Second, why does the problem exist and what are its root causes? Third, what is the solution to the problem? And fourth, what is the path to the solution? Step 1 is about being aware of the existence of a problem. It is our present sensitivity to and our prevailing state of consciousness about a world in imbalance. When we acknowledge a problem's reality, we can take the second step of analyzing and tracing the problem to its root. The only tool we need for this step is our faculty of reason. With the efforts we make in analyzing a problem comprehensively and identifying its root causes, we gain a much broader awareness of the problem that prepares us for the next and the most challenging step, finding a solution to the problem. This crucial third step is not about analysis, it is about synthesis. It is the magical step in the process of problem solving, that moment of epiphany. It is the moment Archimedes shrieked, "Eureka!" and ran naked across the streets of Syracuse, unable to contain his excitement at finding the secret to measuring density. It is that moment when Sir Isaac Newton realized that there is gravity simply by observing a falling apple. It is that moment when humanity makes the quantum leap into a higher state of consciousness and rises above the prevailing state of conflict and imbalance to a state of stability and balance. What makes such magical synthesis of conflicting ends possible is not our faculty of reason, but our faculty of imagination. This is precisely why Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," because without imagination, new knowledge would not even be possible. With such a solution in hand, now we can proceed to step number 4 and devise the means of achieving this solution. And this will require a combination of your faculties of reason as well as imagination. With Newton's 3 laws, Europe launched the Industrial Revolution, and with Einstein's theories on relativity and quantum physics, the modern age was born. However, what we must realize is that while in the measurable sphere of science and objective knowledge, we can count on the imaginative genius of a Newton or an Einstein, in the inexact sphere of humanity and political society, each of us will have to realize our own genius to solve these problems. If we are to solve the grave problems that our fragile world is now faced with, such as human trafficking, which you have presented, dissected and analyzed over this weekend, each and every one of us will have to rise to greater levels of awareness by educating ourselves about these problems, tracing them to their root causes and stretching our imagination to find solutions to these problems. It will literally require all of us to awaken the genius sleeping within us, for otherwise our chances of surviving will be bleak. 10 years ago, I departed for the shores of the United States as an 18-year-old in search of a quality education and cutting-edge knowledge that would get me a decent paying job and allow me to lay the foundation for a fruitful career. But I arrived in Sri Lanka with a completely different form of education and a great awareness of myself and the world we live in. While I gained employability with the former, you could say, left-brain education, I found my sense of purpose in the world with the right brain or big-picture education that I received during my 9-year stint in the United States. And for that education, I had to read myself and exercise my imagination to its fullest on my own. Without making this speech a political one, I will simply say that I left the United States a very worried and concerned citizen of the world. What I would ask of you here is to use the 4-step framework of inquiry and question the problems that are all around us. Why are there so many wars in the world? Why are once thriving European economies collapsing like 10 pins? Why are so many losing their hard-earned wealth in financial Ponzi schemes and bursting bubble economies? Why are there so many earthquakes and tsunamis? Why, after Lincoln, Gandhi and Mandela, are we still talking about human trafficking and modern-day slavery? Are these result of economic cycles, weather cycles, natural selection, or are these man-made disasters? Each one of us does not